Hi, I'm Kate with The Productive Teacher. Today we're going to play the word maker game with the EP word family. All one-syllable words are made up of onsets. These are letters that come before the vowel in the word, and rhymes. In a word family, all of the words have the same rhyme, in this case, the EP rhyme. We are going to combine onsets and rhymes to make words. Then we'll count up how many words we can make. You can listen to me read the words, you can read the words along with me, or you can put the video on mute and read the words by yourself. Let's get started. Bep. Bep is not a word. Sep. Sep is not a word. Remember, the letter C makes the S sound before E. Dep. Dep is not a word. Fep. Fep is not a word. Jep. Jep is not a word. Remember, the letter G makes the J sound before the letter E. Hep. Hep is not a word. Jep. Jep is not a word. Kep. Kep is not a word. Lep. Lep is not a word. Mep. Mep is not a word. Nep. Nep is not a word. Rep. Rep can be short for words, but it's not a word by itself. Sep. Sep is not a word. Tep. Tep is not a word. Vep. Vep is not a word. Wep. Wep is not a word. Yep. Yep is a word. Zep. Zep is not a word. Chep. Chep is not a word. Fep. Fep is not a word. Shep. Shep is not a word. Thep. Thep is not a word. Quep. Quep is not a word. Wep. Wep is not a word. Blep. Blep is not a word. Brep. Brep is not a word. Clep. Clep is not a word. Crep. Crep is not a word. Drep. Drep is not a word. Flep. Flep is not a word. Frep. Frep is not a word. Glep. Glep is not a word. Grep. Grep is not a word. Plep. Plep is not a word. Prep. Prep is a word. Slep. Slep is not a word. Smep. Smep is not a word. Spep. Spep is not a word. Step. Step is a word. Trep. Trep is not a word. Screp. Screp is not a word. Shrep. Shrep is not a word. Splep. Splep is not a word. Squep. Squep is not a word. Strep. Strep is a word. Threp. Threp is not a word. Great job. Let's count up how many words we made. Okay, the EP word family had 3 words. Thanks so much for playing. I'll see you next time.